Hi, welcome to another video. As we promised a few days ago in our last WrestleCrate UK unboxing, we're going to do another wrestling unboxing, but this time it's not a mystery box. Today we're going to be taking a look at a wrestling figure, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. It's a TNA action figure. For those of you who do collect figures and are TNA fans, you can't not know about the fiasco with Peritone and their TNA figures that they announced and started taking pre-orders for a couple of years ago. It was a set of 4. There was Jordan Grace, Eddie Edwards, Moose and Josh Alexander. Figures were about £40–45 each. The full set obviously coming in at about £160. The figures themselves looked absolutely fantastic from the prototypes that we'd been seeing, and yet nobody has received a single figure yet. There's been constant delays, very few updates from the company themselves. There's been blame laid at shipping problems, taxes and so on and so forth. It's caused an incredible amount of controversy, and to be frank, it's annoyed a lot of fans who paid hundreds and, well, obviously there's been thousands of pounds worldwide spent. Jordan Grace herself, I think, spent thousands of dollars actually buying tons of figures herself to actually sign and sell on to fans. So it's caused an incredible amount of controversy. These are actually heralded as being the first TNA figures for probably about a decade, and all we've seen since that point is one figure that was produced by Brian Myers and Matt Cardona in their Major Bendy's range, and that was an official Joe Hendry sort of bendy figure. And so that's all we've actually seen released in probably a decade until now. And this is what I'm going to look at today. It's from Ringside Collectibles in their unsanctioned range. It is an official TNA figure, and I'm going to show you what that is now. And that's the point of this video. Let's open the box. And as you can tell from the t-shirt, if you say his name, he will appear.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
It's Joe Hendry, and his first official proper figure. It's about £40, a little bit more from, obviously you'll have to import it from the US. It's come very well packaged, came boxed, then bagged. So we'll open this up and take a quick look. I had this about a couple of weeks ago. I haven't even taken it out of the bag yet because I wanted to do this all on camera. And let's see, it's, I'm getting a bit of a glare on the camera there. Try not to get too much glare. Obviously official figure, TNA logo at the top, Ringside Collectibles exclusive, and there you can see. One thing they have done with this, it's not just the actual figure itself, but
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
it's got the full music for Joe's entrance. Obviously that's built into the base there, but won't let this play fully, so I'll come back to this in a second. Okay, now I've saved you from listening to the whole thing, as much as many of you do actually sort of love the song. So without wasting any more time, let's take a closer look at the figure. Okay, so here we've got the figure in its box now. As you can see, take a closer look, and you've got obviously you can see the figure there, obviously Joe in all his glory. Take a look there at the bottom, photo in Joe's usual pose, the unsanctioned range, TNA logo at the bottom, Ringside Collectibles logo, and underneath, I believe in Joe Hendry's. We turn a look at the side, at the top there, ages 15 plus, so it's marked up as a collectible toy rather than a regular action figure. They've done that because this is a limited production run, and it wouldn't have gone through all of the usual CE sort of toy grading. They have to do that, whether it's action figure, other toys for unofficial ranges and so on. Turn this on its side, and again Joe Hendry, Joe's logo, and so on. Top, same again, same on the side. If you want to keep it in the box, you've got the button there for the music. Batteries are already included. So on the back, you've actually got all of the lyrics for Joe's theme, which is quite a nice touch. Moving down to the bottom, got Joe's stats as well. 6'2", 231 pounds. We all know it's 252 pounds of pure motivation. That's the only thing on the packaging I'm not particularly happy with. But apart from that, packaging I think looks absolutely fantastic. The lyrics of the song I think is a fantastic little touch, but yeah, it's just let down slightly by the weight. So let's try and get this open. They have taped it up, so get the trusty scissors, and as you can see, they are in fact the trusty scissors. Open that carefully. Damage in the box. Accessory wise, fabric vest. Spare head, which a lot of figures do seem to have these days. Two spare hands for different poses. He's tied into place. I shall come back in a moment once I've untied him and release the figure. Okay, now we've released Joe from his plastic prison. You can see quite a lot of detail on the figure, both in the head sculpt, chest, with all the obviously painted on chest hair, down to the shorts, obviously the chest, down to his knee pads, and boots as well. So there's quite a lot of detail on the figure. The only thing I've noticed from the painting is his hair is all white. Joe does actually obviously bleach his hair, so there's no actual hints of his normal hair colour underneath. So I would have thought there would have been some slight sort of touches of the original sort of brown hair underneath it. There's quite a lot of articulation in both the head, arms, hand movements. The hand is actually jointed as well. Right, was that the thumb joint? No, there's no joint, no articulation in the hand itself, which just so it can be clipped on and off. So there's a lot of, obviously wave his hands. There's not a great deal of, no movement, there's no twisting at the waist, but it can bend forward. There's plenty of movement in the torso. Legs jointed at the hips. Not a It's quite stiff joints at the moment. Reasonable amount of movement at the knees, and again toes. So there's quite plenty of articulation in it. The base itself is separate, so you can have it obviously used for display. Changing heads, pops off quite easily. So you've got a choice then of what expression, whether to have a serious look or the happy look for the face. But yeah, it's a really nice figure. Definitely one worth for Joe Hendry fans at all. I mean, hands, again, snap in and out quite easily. There is, yeah, I mean, there is some movement in the hands for so the hands are actually jointed, but they are quite stiff at the moment, being a new figure. Goes for the Luke Skywalker look. No. But yeah, really nice figure. Can't really fault this at all, to be honest. But yeah, definitely worth getting. I mean, really good figure, really good lightness. And so yeah, definitely worth picking up. And obviously I have to put that back in the pack. And that's the actual vest, velcroed back on the back for, so you don't have to try and put it on as a normal sort of try and dress him normally, so that's quite easy to put on as well. But yeah, really nice figure. But obviously the only way you can get it is order it directly from the US, or find a store that actually does it, sell it over here in the UK. So I'll let you know exactly what I think in a second. So there you have it, that's the figure itself. The only thing I would say is, as I said before, slight little error on the back for the Joe's weight. I think obviously the only thing I would possibly change there was obviously get the weight details correct, and what I would have put is £252 of pure motivation. That would have really been the icing on the cake, I think, for the packaging. As a figure itself, it looks great. Again, the hair colouring is slightly off, but again, that's just nitpicking, I think, really. I mean, on the front of the box, the figure's still out of the box at the moment, but you can see there, hold it better, you can see there the traces of his original hair colour showing through with the bleaching. So again, it's, again, I think I'm, whether, you think I'm being nitpicky or not, I mean, but yeah, it's just very, very tiny things, and it doesn't spoil the look of the figure. So overall, it is a fantastic little figure, and the little sound unit on top of that just is that icing on the cake for it. But now we come on to the elephant in the room, the price. This figure, depending on whether you import, if you import it from America, you've got your import tax, your VAT and everything else. I got this from a UK seller, and it was about $45 including postage. That is a lot for a figure. People will look at the price of current WWE and AEW figures, which are a lot cheaper. Yes, you've got the sound unit, which you could say that'd say £10 to the cost of a WWE figure, but it's still a lot more expensive. But why? These are produced in very limited quantities from a smaller independent sort of toy manufacturer. To produce toys in a smaller quantity, you've still got the same cost for your moulding, but then by having a smaller production run, each individual figure is going to cost a lot more. You can't go for the bulk manufacturing costs that, say, a WWE figure with, say, 40,000-50,000 production run, but your moulding still costs the same. That moulding cost has to be split across all of the individual figures. So say a mould costs, say, 20,000, that mould has to be, cost of that mould is split between each individual toy. A toy that, say, costs, say a $20,000 cost, say a $20,000 mould, a run of, say, $2,000, that a toy run, say $2,000, then you're talking $1 per toy just on the mould. No, $10 per toy, sorry, on the mould. And so it's volume that keeps the cost down of the toy. To give you a more specific example, we used to run a Transformers convention called Auto Assembly. 2 of those years we worked with another company who helped us bring an exclusive toy to our attendees. And here are a couple of those that we had produced. Each of these cost, I think, about £50–60. I mean, there's no sound units on these, but the price of them was purely because of the limited production run. And that is basically the whole point. If you go for a smaller production run, your costs will be a lot higher per toy. So bearing that in mind, and as a sound unit, it's understandable why that is so expensive. But I would like to know what you think. Have you got one of these, and have you already bought one yourself? Do you like it? What do you think of it? Has this video persuaded you to go and get one for yourself, or were you thinking of it anyway? Or if you're a Joe Hendry fan, are you going to wait for WWE to bring out one of their own figures themselves? But yeah, I would like to know what you think. So drop us a comment below. If you did enjoy this video, please drop us a like, and if you're not already doing so, take the time to subscribe and click that bell for notifications of all our future videos. Anyway, that's it for now. Keep an eye out for our future videos. There will be links on screen for another couple of Joe Hendry related videos. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again soon.